What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel reserved for the best. It's super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at @6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. What's good, y'all? Sixth element of hip hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir, and we got our co-host, Stu Dog, late to the show. We got my man Molecular in the building. What's good? Raw Talk Sada. How y'all doing?
Good, brother. Great.
Salute, Corey Adger. Yeah, man. Happy born day to Stu Dog. Definitely been a part of the show for a solid 2 years, and I think is a fixture. Everybody knows Stu Dog. So but today's his birthday. Well, actually I think it was yesterday, but today we doing the born day bash. And
Happy
of course,
born, Stu.
And my man's he's not here, but he's on the road. He's traveling between Jersey and Philly, and when he's gonna log in. I guess he's looking for a place to pull over. He's actually gonna pull over and do the show from his phone from the side of the road. That's dedication. That's the homie, man. I appreciate that, Corey.
At the old rest stop parking lot,
Yeah, somewhere comfortable. I hope. Yeah, I'm sure he's just not gonna pull on the side of the highway. He's gonna look for a good spot to probably get some Wi-Fi, maybe something like that. But he'll be here in a moment. And it's also Bruce Lee's birthday, incidentally.
Oh,
today.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
What a day.
Yeah. Stu missed it by one day. So yeah, he was born. I think he'd be like 83, Bruce Lee.
Wow.
Or something like that, 87, something like that. He's born in like 42, but yeah, it's today's his birthday. Would be his birthday as well. Big shout out to the dragon. Where Bruce Lee is definitely a big.
Dangerous. He mysteriously died.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a big. Part of my life, big chunk of my whole everything Bruce Lee, man. Like since I was a little kid, I remember growing up and finding out he was dead, like before I was born and shit. I was like, this shit blew me.
Yeah, when I was a kid, that like hurt my feelings. My mom told me he was dead. I was like, what?
Word.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Word. It's
I
like,
think he died the same year I was born, man.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's it was, you watch the what was it, the Game of Death.
Oh yeah.
Watch that, you seen the real footage of his funeral. And yeah, that was very sad for me.
Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear
you.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said it was very sad for me. When you watch the Game of Death, you see the real footage of his funeral. Actually.
Oh, yeah.
From his funeral, it's like kind of weird, but then when you're young and he's alive, you're gonna see some more movie, and then you find out he's actually gone. You're like, yo, this is crazy, because you was just getting started and watching him and understanding him. You know what I mean? You grow up watching kung fu flicks, but then you see Master Bruce on some totally different philosophy and everything, and you're like, he got it all together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that fears will probably kill him.
Because the fact that
he had no fear probably killed him, because Bruce was just like, he was spitting so much at the time, and he was way ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was.
It seems like every time I come on the show, we talk about people ahead of their time. But
Black Heroes Club, welcome to the show.
What up?
Man,
it's fascinated by the mafia, man, because he didn't want to pay those fees.
Yeah, the triads.
No, I'm talking about the other mafia, because remember, they were running the whole conglomerate of the international movie and everything. They were running, what I'm saying? So it's like he didn't want to pay that or what have you, and certain things he's like, and Bruce is a prideful dude when it comes to protecting his. He's
Mhm.
like, no. And I
It's
think
definitely
and the triad allowed it to happen.
yeah, it's definitely oh yeah, they definitely run shit in Hong Kong, but the it's definitely crazy as fuck to think that, somebody that's that physically, you know, perfect and fit and just health conscious is gonna not know that they were allergic to aspirin or some shit or whatever pill. It's not. It doesn't make sense. But
What kind of dumbass shit? Like,
we don't.
better.
But I mean, so you had them like you said, Raw Talk. We love the Shaw Brothers motion pictures. We love the kung fu flicks and the 36 Chambers and all of that. But the way that they did their movies, the way they did their martial arts was very operatic. It was very like a dance, very wire work and all of that, and just fantastical. Just blocking everything, never hitting each other, just dot 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 blocking for an hour. And Bruce was like, that's not how fights are. Like, that's inauthentic. That's not what fights look like, even kung fu. And that was the thing. Like, people were like under this impression that if you knew kung fu, that's how it would look when you fought. We see the MMA today. We see how the best fighters in the world look when they're fighting. It doesn't look like a kung fu movie at all, right? It looks like a couple dudes fucking going at it. And
yeah, that's true, bro. But you also have to incorporate that MMA is more of a USA sport, because overseas they do fight a lot differently as well. Like they'll do a big circle, they'll do, I don't know if they bring boards or anything, but like stick fighting, sword fighting, that's an art.
But see, you're talking about the way that they, hang on, let me let everybody in here. So the way that they fight, welcome everybody. The way that they fight in the tournaments and in the exhibitions and stuff like that in Asia and China and stuff like that is very different. MMA is actual fighting. You're actually really going at it to kill each other. All technique, whatever. You mix your techniques, use wrestling, use whatever you can. Whereas in say for example China, they would do a kung fu exhibition tournament fight, what have you. Both guys are doing kung fu. They're both doing the same style. They're there's rules, everything is like set. But if you took and there's a guy, a Chinese man, he's actually was Chinese, an American, but he was Chinese. He went to China. He was an MMA fighter. He went over there and challenged the whole fucking country. He was like, listen, give me your top guys. Went to the government and all of that. The government got involved in all that. Give me your top guys and I'll whoop their ass. Yep. And they were hell of offended, of course, but the way that they reconciled that was they made him wear a clown face. So they made him paint his face like a clown. That was the stipulation by the Chinese government. You have to wear this clown mask, and we'll let you do this fight. So really weird shit. But so long story short, he beats everybody with ease because they're doing this fixed position, traditional. It's everything Bruce Lee preached against. That's why Bruce Lee is the godfather of MMA, because what Bruce Lee taught was that kung fu and that jujitsu and karate and taekwondo, all of those styles by themselves can only fight other people that are using that style. But if you fight a guy who's wrestling, you're fucked. If you fight a boxer, you're fucked. And vice versa. So he was like, nah, we got to incorporate all of that instead of this fixed position Wing Chun, shit. It's not that it's not authentic, but it doesn't work it doesn't work in real life, in a real fight. And we see that's what I mean, Black Heroes, by when we see the difference in MMA and versus the traditional fighting. They're not doing MMA over there. They're not they're not doing full contact, do whatever you can to beat the other guy and knock him out. That's not what they're doing. They do a different kind of thing over there. It's more of a sport.
If I could add to that real quick, that's an excellent
it's structured. I mean, the only thing that comes close to MMA is
my bad.
Full contact is kickboxing.
Yeah, my bad, bro. I didn't. Molecular was saying something.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But you talked about how my man went to China and he was able to bring a style of martial arts that showed, I guess what you're saying, in order to mix them all up was the only way to like, you can't say one style is better than the other. It's, you know what I mean? It's a mix of everything. It's kind of like the movie Shaolin and Wu-Tang. At the end of the day, that the magistrate or whatever wanted to know which style is better between Shaolin G King Fist and Wu-Tang Sword Style. And what happened was they found out when they mixed the two, because the two opponents of Shaolin and Wu-Tang were both friends. So they wound up learning each other's styles and teaching each other, right? So when we talk about at the beginning of mixed martial arts and then people coming into play, that's where Royce Gracie came on ground, because when mixed martial arts, UFC, all that first started, they were taking, like you said, they were taking a straight component of like karate and then like boxing, and they were matching them up. And sometimes the people that you thought was going to really like put in that work did not, because they found like a lot of karate fighters never really had to face getting hit or taken to the ground. So right. Yeah, jiu-jitsu and the Gracie family kind of like took it to another level when improving like the style of is effective as far as like being able to stand up and go to the ground. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a supreme martial arts. I'm just saying that they were able to use it. And the reason why I know that is because they've also used it as certain formulas for military styles of fighting, like the Army. They use in the Army's program, they have taken a foundation of jiu-jitsu. They got with the Rangers, made a whole manual, took jiu-jitsu, and then with the jiu-jitsu, it came in like kickboxing, boxing, wrestling. You know what I mean? From the time you're in your kit with your weapon standing up all the way to the time that you're on the ground. And a big component of that is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that, man. I just wanted to share that.
To add into that also, we have to remember that in this time, a lot of people were traveling, like during the war, they were traveling and showing these people different forms of martial arts and different forms, not martial arts, different fighting style. Because even the Navy had actually adopted, I forgot the name of the brawl, like Navy's like the brawl a lot. So it wasn't like a fix where it's like a fixed stance or whatever, but it's just, we're going to go and attack, and whoever makes it out alive makes it out alive. But even in Afghanistan, they have trained Kaver or something like that. Like all over the world, they have different fighting styles. But when Bruce Lee came in, and they started showing it on TV and writing it in books, you guys get the point.
Yeah. Yo, FL Miller Boys, what's good, man?
That's my homie right there, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, word. Okay. You invited him?
I sure did.
That's what's up.
I met some good people, man. We talking about comics, man. So come on in, you know.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Welcome to the show, bro. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. I got the passion for it all.
Nice. Yeah. Bloodshed, how you been?
Hi, Bloodshed. What's up?
I'm in a Baltimore airport, yo.
Wow.
I was not about to miss Stu's birthday. Where is Stu? It seemed like
he missed his birthday. Everybody not missing Stu's birthday but Stu. Listen, he's like you. He's traveling, but he's on the road, and he just called. He's like, "Yo, I'm looking for a spot to pull over. Text me the link. I'm gonna do the show from the car and all this." So he's looking for a spot to pull over. He'll be on.
Why is everybody on the move today? I love it.
Yeah, it's a traveling day. I guess everybody's
comics on the go, bro.
And yeah, man. You know, Thanksgiving, people going and coming from families and whatnot. But yeah, man.
Yeah, that cracked me up. When I showed up, I was like, everybody's here for Stu's party but Stu.
Yeah, man. He'll be on. But yeah,
that's
man.
Legendary status, not even showing up to your own party.
I'm saying that's just
let y'all have fun.
That's going down in history.
That sounds like Hangover.
You know you the Don when you show up for your birthday party and that shit's still lit even without you. That's how you know.
Right. That's what's up, man. But y'all heard about the woke Silver Surfer, right? The female Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
About that. Whoa.
Yeah, over an extended duration, Kevin Feige has served as the president of Marvel Studios, guiding the MCU under the Walt Disney Company's umbrella. Victoria Alonso, big problem. The MCU's significant impact on the superhero, film genre and the broader cinematic panorama has made, I think, the most lasting impression, even amid the recent shit. I mean, the MCU is like the gold standard, right? That was Hollywood's goal. Every actor, every writer, every director wanted to be in it, and now motherfuckers are just like, I'm good. Like,
they fucking up, dude.
Bruh. You had the big storyline, right? We had the Infinity Saga reached its pinnacle with the Infinity War Endgame, and really it's been ass since. The remarkable growth and unparalleled dominance that the superhero genre has solidly positioned is substantial for the film industry. But I think right now it's going to be DC's time, man, because DC is looking pretty.
I was just gonna say that. Did y'all hear the great news about Blue Beetle being the number one movie streaming on all streaming platforms?
Hey, come on, Blue Beetle.
I don't know if y'all seen Blue Beetle, but it was it was all right. It was kind of cheesy.
I saw it, man, and I'm with you.
From the trailer, I'm
with. Blue Beetle
with it.
It was the first. It was the first movie that I ever was like, "Yo, I really understand superhero fatigue right now." Like, I was watching it and I was like, "Man, I've seen all this before." It's cool and it's well done. I really like how they did it here. This is great, and that's what superhero fatigue is. Even if the movie's good, you can still be sick of it because it's just like again. I don't know, man.
It was just a slight thing where you, like I said before, it was, instead of
gotta get it out the way.
It was caricatures.
Oh, right. The Latino family,
exploitative. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I know Mexican families, and not of them, it don't go down like that. It's not crazy like that. And Abuela wearing her nightgown everywhere. Nah. It don't work.
Right.
I don't care. You know what I mean?
All personal opinions aside, this is great for the DC. It's great.
But it was a great.
I like it.
Entertaining, but it was just like,
yeah,
they could have left some.
I don't know. I feel like they could have done better.
Yeah, they could have, but I'm like, I think Bloodshed's point. I agree. Stu is here. The poor guy. Ow, man. Still dog. He's still trying to get in. He's on the road. He's trying to get a play. He's trying to pull over to log in from the road or something. Matter of fact,
he just stop traffic, stop in the middle of the road, because that's Stu, though. He could do that.
Word.
He just perform himself in the middle of the highway. Why not?
Word.
My man said he got the pass.
You do. Shit.
Hey,
How's
Stu.
everybody doing?
Where you at, man? We got everybody in the house. Al Mega's here, Molecular here, Raw Talk, Sada, Black Heroes Club, SFL Miller Boys, Bloodshed. It's a full house. Everybody here for your birthday, but you.
Happy birthday, King. Come on now.
Stu, please drive safe. Stu, please drive safe. Do not stop in the middle of the highway.
Yeah, let him drive safe. Though.
Get somewhere safe.
Drive safe.
Yeah. Check the text right now. You just hit the link. You can pop in from the phone. Just say what's up, man. Come on, man.
You showed me G.I. Joe.
The link is in text.
Were you talking about the reprint of Marvel, or were you talking about Skybound doing the G.I. Joe, introducing Duke and all that other stuff?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I do all the G.I. Joe. I got the almost complete run of the Marvel from I'm just only missing 150 and 155 of that, and then I go into the Image ones. I'm from 1 to 28 or something like that. Then it go to I just run the gamut on
I got you. The reason why I'm saying that is because that new with Skybound, they're like introducing G.I. Joe, and they also doing like a Transformers run, and I think they're going to try to bring both of them together in the same world. You know what I mean? Because remember we were watching it was a bit of Hasbro stuff, like, you know what I mean? It was from the same family. It had the same kind of animation and everything. You know?
Man, this is like my childhood dream right here.
For real, bro.
Transformers, G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
The homeboy the
Come on,
writer.
bring it.
The homeboy the writer. When you look at like
I'll be
you know,
right
at the
back.
end, if you read the comic, he says stuff like that. Like that was his childhood dream to see the worlds come together and everything. And the way they introduced the Joes, the way they introduced Duke, the way I like it so far, man.
Now, forgive me. Was this a cut? Okay, I heard about it, and how I heard about it was this like a post kind of Easter egg to the last Transformers movie with G.I. Joe mesh? Am I wrong about that?
I don't know about the movie.
How did everyone hear about this? Because I heard it coming in.
I saw the movie.
For me, just being in the comic shop.
Yeah, you talking about the new comics. So they just reissued the new. They restarted the whole run from number 1 again, but it's like the 301st issue, but it's the first issue. They're starting a new one. Raw Talk got a whole bunch of the covers.
Well, actually, what it is, they did how you say it?
Chronological.
They did number 1 over the first.
Right, like a reprint. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just separate.
Right. Okay.
Then the new one, 301, is a continuation.
Okay.
You know.
Right. And then they got Duke number 1 and Cobra Commander number 1 coming up.
Where did the Transformers? Where are they putting?
You got that Duke number 1 and Cobra Commander, right? Or just Duke?
That's where
they got both. They got
But I know I'm gonna me and my brother we're going to the Big Apple Comic Con in Manhattan. What was it, next month? And Larry Hama is gonna be there, so we're gonna flick it up with Larry Hama and chop it up with him about what we can look forward to in the comics with G.I.
I'm kind of upset right now. Now that you mentioned that, in New York, I visited this weekend and I left them there. I have 3 signed Larry Hama comic books: the Cobra cover, and the G.I. Joe cover, and the black and white G.I. Joe cover, all signed by Larry Hama.
Dope.
You left
them?
You
left them?
I left it at my mama's crib. You
know, oh, okay.
Along with my daughter's signed Corey Taylor Slipknot picture.
Oh, okay.
But they're good, right? You're gonna get, they're not lost.
I told Mama, you better not put them.
Word.
You know what, Mama, I love you and all.
Just left New York. Y'all are doing cool stuff. I was just sitting there getting sick. It felt like I didn't do anything cool in New York. Y'all.
That's sad, man. You go to New York. But what New York Comic Con is next month? What are y'all talking about?
It's the Big Apple.
It's Mike Carbonaro's Big Apple Comic Con. That happens every once in a while. Mike Carbonaro is a New York legend. Back in the day, he was under Continental Comics in Queens, where I used to drive my bike from Greenpoint with the boys and pick up some comics back in the day. So he's a legend. He even has a PBS or some public television access show. I mean, he a funny dude, if you know what I mean. But he do his thing. He's in the industry and he's fun, and it is what it is.
Dope. Yeah, man. That's. I would love to be able to go to one of those, man. But I'm definitely going to New York Comic Con next year.
Yeah,
whoa, gotta give us live footage.
Hey, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, bro. Let me know if you really decide to go, because I would like to see how much airfare is, and we could, like, I guess, go together. No, I mean, like, if you want to go with me.
But nah, for real though, we talking about doing the whole Sixth Element with Al Mega, Comic Crusaders, Sixth Element collab, all of us.
Because
the
doors are open for my man Reno. You know what I mean? I have space for one more person for sure. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, we handle our business, we ride together, and we kick ass at New York Comic Con and show them at the East. Get down, baby.
Deep as shit.
Yes, sir.
I've never done cosplay.
Do you guys have anybody you're going as?
What I've been thinking of is Batman Who Laughs. I think that would be the most hardcore, simple cosplay that you could do. If you really want, you get the outfit and the trench right, you get the visor right, you get the makeup right, you could do that.
Who is it?
I'm going to see Rock.
Batman Who Laughs.
Oh,
doing the whole joint with the spikes on it.
That'd be crazy. How can you see through the spikes though?
You deserve to win.
See, I've been working that out in my mind. How I
you have to have 2 eye holes cut.
You know what I'm saying?
Just like cut two holes in the end of the spikes in the front, so that's where I can kind of.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm still working it out, but I'm thinking that might be something, if I were to.
I'm gonna go as Tyrock.
As who?
Tyrock.
Yeah, go look him up. Tyroc.
I'm gonna
Okay.
Oh, new person.
Got me.
The meat.
Well, yeah. So just I know Al Mega got an opinion on this, but previously we reported that the fact that the MCU was rumored to be doing the Silver Surfer, but as a female, right? And apparently they are going forward with this plan to cast the Herald of Galactus this time as a female instead of a male. Hence the woke accusations from the same people who complain about the MCU taking over. It's all happening.
Wrong? Are they wrong? Is it accusations when it's quite visible? I mean,
Right.
there was a female, person that they could have used that worked for Galactus. Why not do that? But no.
Yeah, there's other female
They just
heralds.
don't want to have
Nova, Stardust.
any powerful males. They don't.
Right.
They want every male to look stupid, non-powerful,
Buffoonish.
everything
Yep.
else. That's it. Listen, we understand ladies are strong and powerful. We get it, but you don't gotta. This is the comic story.
You could-
Just make a new character or use the characters that are already in the MCU.
Y'all be
But
careful.
you could have the strong women and the strong men. You don't have to make the men look like jerk offs and weak, emasculate them just to have the strong women. You don't have to. They're not exclusive.
What's the point of that? I mean,
Or you can make a movie about Silver Surfer and where he comes from and everything, and then incorporate that in the story with
My
him.
man Norrin Rad.
Yeah.
Norrin Rad. Did anyone watch the effing cartoon? What the
So
F?
good.
Greatest.
Oh man,
good.
that's what I was thinking about, bro. That cartoon.
One of the best Marvel cartoons ever. Honestly.
Yeah.
And it was like a series, bro. Like, how did
Oh, yeah.
everybody miss this?
A continuity, a story.
Yeah.
Man,
Telling you, bro.
It started.
A whole Norrin Rad shit broken down
It started from
beautifully.
his old planet when he was a human, and then Galactus, how he turned into Silver Surfer, and then his first missions and his confliction with not wanting to do it, bro. That cartoon was the shit. It was maybe 90s or something later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, Omega.
Yep.
That cartoon, bro.
Yep.
Cartoon. My man, how you
So it's easy to say that no one here is feeling it. No one sees potential. Everybody, no one's feeling it.
Because they already had
It is that we need.
Let me answer
Silver
that.
Surfer first.
Come on. You feeling that? I'm not feeling that. That's not I'm not feeling that.
It would have potential if they used and exploited What If.
Right. That's fine.
Just take it to a what if territory. Remember
Yeah.
that?
But that's the thing. They want to. Is like Al said. They literally have a goal to make men look like assholes, make them look weak, make all the women be powerful, and they What If wouldn't do that. They want that to be the main continuity. Everything since Endgame. Look at it. Everything since Endgame. Something happened right there. Like when that shit ended, somebody took over, and whoever it is, I don't want them fucking I don't want them messing with X-Men. Like you know what? I want them to do this.
Man,
I want them to do this. Do this. They do
They
that shit. It's gonna be the end of it, bro. No, this will be the end of it, bro. This will be the fucking end of it. So do it. I want you to.
Now you know
I
what?
hope
I want to thank Mahershala Ali for at least having some balls to talk about it. Isn't Blade supposed to be about me? And when they were trying to make it a female-led movie, they're like, "Yo, they were about the fourth cast him in his own movie. How the fuck do you do that?
Yep.
No. Oh, Blade, yo, what the fuck are you doing right now?
Yep, they got.
Don't let
Did
Wilson
we get
Fisk
that
come and
message?
kick your ass on set for disrespecting.
Sada, did we miss the message? Was there a news headline? Is there another Me Too movement? Like, what is going on? Like, why is this happening?
I don't know. And the thing is, if we're getting real, this has been going on before Endgame. It's just more prominent now. And the writing is like much worse. They've never been good at writing female characters. That's from the beginning, and I don't know how they feel like putting the spotlight on them is going to, and then in the process you're diminishing the men. I'm not sure how that's going to work when you can't write the women. So all you're doing is putting a spotlight on the fact that you have shit writers. That's really all you're doing. Exactly.
That's
So
interesting.
what is a good written woman to you guys? Like, can you name a good written woman
Oh
ever?
hell yeah, Ahsoka.
I would say
Black Widow,
Gamora's
Scarlett
well-written,
Johansson.
Nebula's
Fire to me.
well-written.
I'm not-
These are women who
I'm
are
not gonna-
well-rounded characters and who are not defined by either the men in their life or they are not one note. Someone like Pepper Potts, she is one note and defined by Tony Stark. There's nothing else going on with her. Black Widow has nothing else going on with her outside of the most that they've done with her is in Winter Soldier. Someone like Michelle Jones or MJ, whatever. She is one note. She is nothing outside of Peter Parker. So like those are not well-written female characters to me. People like Nebula, who have things going on, they have trauma, what have you, outside of the Guardians, outside of her relationship
Guardians.
with her.
Yeah.
Same with Nebula. I'm trying to think of another.
Gamora.
How do you feel about Naomi?
Is what you're saying. All the female characters develop off of somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not like their own.
Well,
Well,
What do you-
Naomi, I didn't watch the show, so I don't really know 100%. I haven't seen her on, on a live screen to really give you any opinion on how she would hold a movie. But if she can hold a show, of course she can hold a movie.
Naomi DC Naomi?
Yeah.
Yeah, DC.
Oh, that was awful. I wouldn't say that is an example of a well-written female character. No. When I watched that show, I did the first 6 episodes and I couldn't do anymore. There's just nothing. All of her thing was her when she had her powers. First of all, they couldn't even define her power set, so that's strike one. And she was just all powerful. There were no weaknesses. She was flawless. Literally everyone liked her. No one had any issues with her. There were no flaws that were really addressed by the writers or whatever. It's the same thing with
she got Superman issues.
Yeah,
but in the comics, that's how she's portrayed too. Everyone loves her in the comics.
That's not
Well,
good.
Okay, but in the comics, that's a different story. I mean, in the comics, there's countless great, well-written females. It's just that in the movies and the shows, they don't seem to be able to do it. That
right now is Storm.
Even in the comic books, they're not. They don't have their own shine, if that makes sense. They do, but it's still piggyback off of some dudes that that they're with, or
Well, there's Niobe. There's Niobe. There's and yeah. I mean, Storm is a good example.
Misty Knight. How was Misty Knight in like Luke Cage? How'd you guys like her?
I mean, I liked her.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
We can't see you, but we know you're here.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Hey!
Feliz cumpleaños, hermano.
Yeah, I can't get late on what we're driving, man.
Word. Yo, man. What? How old are you today? Or yesterday?
Yesterday.
21.
51? 51. I thought you turned 50.
Wow, 61. Good stuff.
Kids, how old you are?
Hell no.
Oh my God, Reno, you can't just ask people how old they are.
No, that's women. Men don't care about that shit. We are proud of how old we are. We're proud of our age. Shit, I'm 45.
21.
I'm proud of my shit.
I am too. I embrace my age. I don't care. I don't
Word.
hide it, none of that. Straight up.
Some kid yesterday asked me how old I was. I was like, none of your business.
I mean,
Hey, Bloodshed, I wrote you about what you call it in the comments in the chat. If you can look at it.
Okay.
So, well, I guess everybody here knows, obviously, but for those who might not know, people that's watching, there are other potential heralds of Galactus. You guys know. Okay, so let me break down Galactus first. Galactus is the devourer of worlds, right? He's the dude that consumes planets, by absorbing their energy. And to carry out this monumental task, he selects individuals as his heralds, basically to go out light years ahead and seek out planets that he can feast on. And they come back and say, "Hey, I found you one. Come suck it dry." And with
be like an honor too.
Bestowed, yeah, and bestowed with a fraction of Galactus's immense power. They have the power galactic, or the power cosmic, rather, and so that the heralds gain these superhuman abilities, elevating their physical and mental attributes. Naturally, one of Galactus' heralds and major Fantastic Four villains undoubtedly is the Silver Surfer, the famous one who emerged as the iconic antagonist for numerous Marvel fans and general movie-going audience. With his, he's very iconic silver guy, right? On a fucking big silver surfboard. You saw him in 2007's Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Comes from the comic books. Originally, his name Norrin Rad, like one of our homeboys in the chat. Other potential heralds are Terrax the Tamer, who wielded control over the Earth. Then you had Airwalker. You had was a resurrected warrior with mastery over the air. And rather importantly, you had Nova. Okay, Frankie Ray was a former human endowed with the fiery powers. Nova is important because Nova stands as yet another possibility for Taylor Joy's villain, right? This villain. So it's going to be a female herald. Canonically, we don't really know if it's going to be like Juno, the actual Silver Surfer that I threw up this picture right here. This character right here is an actual character. There was a female Silver Surfer that was like his wife or something. At one point she became Juno. Or they could go Frankie Ray Nova, which, whether Marvel Studios decides to switch up the more well-known and iconic villain to fit Taylor Joy's gender, or whether they plan to incorporate a more Marvel accurate Frankie Ray, comic accurate Frankie Ray, is something that we'll just have to wait and find out. But
Nova's a core though, ain't it? Like Green Lantern?
Well, wait, what'd you say?
Nova's like a core, isn't it? It's like
the police, a space corps, a police corps.
Yeah, Nova Corps. Yeah, Nova Corps.
Space. They even got to stop us in space. Look at this crap.
So y'all been saying this for a minute, because this one came up more than once past couple of shows, and y'all said that what they were going to do was everybody's going to be like, this is something like the comics, and they were going to be like, no, there was this one comic that happened, and so that's just terrible. They're actually going with it.
Yeah, and this actress here, she played as Magic in the New Mutants movie, which I thought she was great as. She's a good Magic.
Queen's Gambit, that chess movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And but
Netflix shit though.
Yeah. But we don't know if the whole thing, it doesn't really matter, bro, because they know damn well that everybody was waiting for Fantastic Four for another fucking Silver Surfer, Norrin Rad. They know that. They're slapping people in the face with this shit. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
It's on purpose. They do that shit on purpose. They know people don't want this.
That's what I'm saying. I was just thinking that, like, in a sense, it's like, are they doing this on purpose? Like, are you bringing female characters in the most like horrid way possible because you're really trying to sabotage that because they know people are going to be against it, and then it's like it goes back and it starts all over again. And
then they're gonna bring the dudes back, and then they're gonna be okay. We done with the chicks. We got the chicks out the way. Now we're gonna so that way nobody can be angry.
Just saying,
that's a hell of a way to do it. Golly.
On purpose, because in a sense they probably got the money to lose.
Yeah. They probably do.
Honestly. They're going to make money opening day, and that's the pocket that they need because they calculate all this. It's a business. And then after that, they're already calculating their losses. And so they're already preparing for the losses that they're going to get. You know what I mean? It's a multi-million-dollar corporation.
Feige wants to be fired so he can move on to soap operas.
Yeah, he does. He's gonna remake Dos Mujeres Un Camino in English.
Who does something with the intention of losing money? That doesn't.
You need to get the director from Black Panther.
Oh, well.
Just talking shit.
The
Work with Eric
they-
really bad.
the Loki what'd you say, bro?
Kevin Feige wants to work with Eric Estrada really bad.
Yo, with Poncherelli. Yo, but the Loki creator Michael Waldron, the guy that created Loki, is supposed to be doing the Avengers Kang Dynasty. So
Okay.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Created Loki?
So Michael Waldron has been tapped to write the Avengers Kang Dynasty. Waldron had already been set to write Avengers Secret Wars, the installment that would follow Avengers Kang Dynasty, but now he's writing both Avengers sequels. And he's become one of Marvel's most trusted creative minds, previously creating the showrunner of Loki season 1, as well as writing Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And the move, makes sense, I think, to the studio to have him do both films. And Marvel Studio president Kevin Feige will, of course, produce, as always. But Deadline recently broke that Destin Daniel Cretton would not be directing the film in order to focus on his other Marvel projects, like the TV series Wonder Man, because we definitely need a fucking Wonder Man series.
Yeah, you love Wonder Man.
No, but that's interesting, though.
Well, Avengers.
Didn't he not?
Android.
I thought that was going to be I thought he was going to guest star in a movie. I didn't know they were giving Wonder Man a whole show.
Oh yeah, Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah. And well, but the Avengers Kang Dynasty is more on the theatrical release schedule, dated to kick off summer on May 1st, 2026.
Reno, I got a question for you though, right? So if that's, and you probably may not know the answer, which would be fair if you didn't, but like
it happens.
If they're going in all this way, and if you're talking about Secret Wars, when are they going to bring in Doctor Doom, and who's going to be him? Are they going to bring in Doctor Doom and Silver Surfer, or are they going to bring in Doctor Doom when they finally release the new Fantastic Four? Because Doctor Doom is Secret Wars. Like,
well, yeah, exactly. It should be. He should be. But and Doctor Doom is. I should have always been the, first. It should have always been the big bad, for this arc.
The gauntlet, bro.
But the friggin' what's his name? Kang is a what do you call it? He's just like a
brother. Kang ain't got a job no more.
No, he's a mini boss. Like Kang is not a big bad. Doom is a big bad. Doom is a main boss. Kang is like a fucking mini boss. Doom toys with Kang in the comics. So why they even chose to use a mini boss as a big bad is they already were fucking up, because you can't carry it. No one can. I mean, we see how boring it almost already got. But the rumors are swirling about Doctor Doom possibly replacing Kang for the upcoming Secret Wars movie. And Doctor Doom, and because obviously he's the main antagonist for the 2015 Secret Wars comic, which gives the idea some appeal. But the first Secret Wars miniseries from 1984 is being overlooked, despite Doom dispatching Kang in its story. Why they're not, doing that? But
it's gonna take a real special writer to make that all make sense by the time we get to Star Wars.
So
like,
why aren't they trying to bring in Jonathan Hickman? I'm sorry not to cut you off.
Oh no, you're okay.
You got me hyped. Sorry. So why not bring in Jonathan Hickman?
Yeah, I don't know, because the issue is the phases 4 and 5 have not had any kind of connected tissue. The projects within phase 4 have all been what is the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily standalone, but they've been projects where they're self-contained, but they're too self-contained. They have there's nothing hinting at what's going on in the multiverse saga or with Kang. And it's the same thing happening in Phase 5. We have a couple projects that maybe have something to do with it, if they hand fist the multiverse in there, but otherwise not really. Like literally Kang has only had 2 appearances in the MCU thus far. We're 2 phases in, and it's like, okay. And unlike Thanos, like what he's doing is going to directly affect the main timeline. And we're not seeing that across almost any of the projects. So like, that's why when we get to Secret Wars, and if they want to bring in Doom, it's like, I don't know how that's going to really make sense. So it's going to take a real special writer. That's all I'm saying.
Makes sense if they make
So what you're
Thanos and Kang, but more with that serial killer side.
Well, Bloodshed, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, let me make sure I got. So what you're saying is they're gonna have to do some magic, because the way that they've been doing everything, they've been trying to make it like you said, like standalone, and they've done such a confusing kind of jumbled up job with it that it makes each story borderline pointless, because nothing leads to anything. Kind of, is that what you mean?
Sort of. Like, I'm not saying there can't be standalones, like there can't be projects that are within their own universe, but of course exist within the larger Marvel universe. Because we have stuff like Moon Knight or She-Hulk, but I think they've done such a poor job at making it so events that happen within these shows ripple throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because you had stuff happen in Moon Knight that should do that. Secret Invasion, that's not even followed up with in the Marvels. So it's just like things like that. If you can't even do the bare bones, it doesn't feel like a connected universe anymore. So I don't know. And they want to watch the show so damn bad. So it's like, okay.
And a perfect solution to the Doom Kang situation is right there in the fucking comics, right? Secret Wars, all right, not the ones that have dominated most of the discussion around the subject. The original 1984 limited series set the pace for the later 2015 series, and it provides a lot of story hook that the MCU can make use of. And you've got the formal Doom Kang matchup that goes decidedly poor for Kang, and its presence and suddenness forms a template for the MCU to follow if they want to. And it's far from the only story point that the franchise could benefit from, especially in its current woke woes. But at first,
basics, bring me some Mo Man in that motherfucking Fantastic Four movie, not Doom yet. Bring me some Mo Man, have some fun with that. But they probably I can't use the M word. What is that little person? We hired another little person into that, business,
Yeah. I mean, well, at first glance, Kang makes a great follow up to Thanos, and in theory, he still does. But the Loki series sets him up well in season 1, episode 6, like as He Who Remains, right? To sort of give rise to the multiverse and potentially infinite number of less benevolent variants, looking to conquer all of reality. But a lot of the the scores, the big win in the part by explaining the new rules with with perfect accuracy and demonstrating the range to portray all these different Kang variants that the saga requires. You've got a combination of on-screen and off-screen issues back in early 2023, complicated that shit, in a very short amount of time. You had Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania, bomb, fucking poor reviews, mediocre box office.
That Jonathan Majors choking that chick.
Yeah, it's supposedly starting Phase 5 off on a very wrong foot. And the film itself isn't really a failure, but its by the numbers plot and routine action sequences definitely fall flat after being built up as this major step forward for the franchise. It was supposed to be this big game changer, but it wasn't. And even as Marvel tried to evaluate what went wrong, you've got Majors getting arrested and charged with assaulting his former partner in March. And then his trial set to begin November 29th. So we'll see. But when combined with the MCU's subsequent creative stumbles, culminating in the box office failure of the Marvels, it turns to a formerly safe bet. It turns something that was a safe bet into a very risky gamble. But I don't know. I think Marvel seems to be backing away from Kang at this point, especially with all the Jonathan Majors stuff going on. And they might be in a position to do it because Loki season 2 ends with the God of Mischief ascending to basically the He Who Remains station. So he kind of takes that position, taking control of the whole multiverse and presumably able to keep Kang in check, so that kind of already they could be like, okay, Kang is sort of taken care of. And then that sort of lets the franchise remove that villain however they want to, quickly, fast, slow, whatever, with as little or as much development as they want. And then if Marvel Studios wants to cut Kang loose, now is definitely the time. This would be the perfect time. Well, wait, what did you say?
They got to make Loki bad again.
I think that was a very missed opportunity. But
Loki, Loki for the MCU. For the MCU, Loki is pretty much done. Like he's just like a fixed fixture in the like he has to sit there and hold the time shit together. If he doesn't, everything goes to shit. So he has to sit there and hold. He can never get up. And then like he sacrificed his immortality to sit there and hold time together. Very noble and heroic, not at all like Loki. So weird.
Didn't spend enough time with him as the God of Mischief for me to suddenly care that he's like on this new path. Like,
or
I just feel like it just was not Loki. So that's why I watched the show. I did not want to
God of Mischief. Like,
yeah. It's just like,
what are y'all doing? Yeah.
Wait, you've never watched the show?
The Double Woke.
I've never seen the Loki show. No.
Are you? No. Have you seen other MCU shows?
Absolutely. I've seen pretty much almost all of them outside of Miss Marvel.
Out of all of them, Loki's the only one you need to see. It's the only one you should watch. It's the only one that's worth a damn, in my opinion.
The only one I'm like not watching.
I'm telling you.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought
that was right.
And I liked how they brought in Baron Zemo.
I'm not even on the front. WandaVision was really entertaining.
I like that they used Baron Zemo, but I don't like how they used Baron Zemo. I would have loved to seen more Baron Zemo.
I thought it was dope, and he's a real German, so it's like
yeah. But I don't know. I wanted more. He should have been more
people.
What'd you say?
So they normally get the casting right when it's white people.
No.
Yeah, and then now they're doing but then now they're not. Now they don't know how to cast fucking they don't know how to cast Sentry.
It's crazy. I've always had an issue with that because when you talk about casting, I'm sorry, Omega, you got me. Like I have to say this. Like when you talk about casting the right people, one of the issues I've always had is like the way Hispanics are depicted in comics. It's like there's no like. I don't want to say no, but to find like a real character from origin that's Hispanic is like hard.
Yeah.
If it's not taking the mantle of somebody else.
Well, White Tiger is about the only one that again, the first Puerto Rican, based on George Perez, OG character, never used them. And he's actually the first hero in comics that got shot by cops in comics. Happens to be a minority. How funny is that? Victor Ayala.
Who's Victor Ayala? Is it the X-Men?
No.
Callejaro.
He was through Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, his first appearance. He showed up in color for the first time in Spectacular Spider-Man.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And that's why they had the story where he got shot by cops and shit.
Wow.
Also a short
terrible, but if you read the description, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Good old Invincible is Sentry. I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's so edgy and cool.
I think they're gonna break them up into different parts. Like I'm looking at these comics and I'm seeing, you know how they have the advertisements in between the pages, and it shows Century as like being like 4 different people, like we are Century, like it's Shazam or some shit. Yeah, bro, I ain't lying.
Well, it'd be interesting if they have the Void show up.
Yeah, the Void. That's what I want to see.
That's what I'm hoping to see. The Void, because that's like the evil half of Century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be ill.
I just like how they did Adam Warlock.
Everybody
like Adam Warlock.
Century is powerful, but Blue Marvel's trash. A 7th stone? What, Infinity Stone?
Ooh, yeah, I guess so. I think you mentioned it earlier.
Blue Marvels.
Blue Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bring him in, please.
Yeah.
Please, Blue Marvel.
Yeah, Blue Marvel goes stupid hard.
Yo, Blue Marvel will crush worlds, man. He's almost like Superman. He's almost too powerful.
Yeah.
There was when I was diving into that, there's an argument that Blue Marvel's older than Black Panther. Like he is one of the first really original Black male.
The brother got 3 Richards things going on the side of his head.
No. In comic book history, no. But when they want to change and play with timeline history, they want to
yeah. Timeline. Not by Prince.
He's right.
Not by Prince, but by timeline. He's supposed to be older.
Yeah, even
they got a new Black Hulk that was Hulk before Bruce Banner now.
Ooh.
But it's in another universe.
That shit was so interesting. I had to post it, but I was like, where did this come from, bro? This is y'all not fooling me, bro. This is not real.
Yeah, he posted it. It was saying it had the Black Hulk, and it was saying this Hulk was out before Bruce Banner, blah blah blah. And of course, it's all modern comic images and stuff.
You know what they did? They was like, it's a Marvel world. With Marvel has their other worlds. It's like 6176 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, it was another universe.
Slip it in is like it's not this present world.
Right. Right, and in that universe, it happened time-wise, like Al said, canonically or whatever, time-wise before, whatever in the story. But yeah, people, you got to. Mm-hmm.
They killed his ass. Okay, all right.
Hell yeah.
Marvel was big on the race issue because when he first started, he had his entire body covered. You couldn't see that he's black. He got into a fight and his mask got ripped. Everybody saw that he was black, and it was this huge thing. Yeah. And Blue Marvel.
Yeah. Well, I still think that Doom is the better choice for the villain, overarching, especially if you're talking about doing Secret Wars. It just makes sense. It wouldn't make sense without him. He's like the biggest factor in Secret Wars,
but the big villain of Secret Wars is Beyonder. So let's go Beyonder. Who we getting as Beyonder?
Oh my God!
Well, that's the wrinkle, is that it's not the 2015 story, right? Because there's a 2015 Secret Wars and there's a 1984 Secret Wars.
The original one was Battle
the first Secret Wars has a sort of mundane storyline with no connection to the multiverse. But the second Secret Wars, Doom has the central focus, as Marvel's, heroes and villains are sort of gathered by being, known as the Beyonder, by the being known as the Beyonder, to determine which side is more powerful, the bad guys or the good guys. And then Doom refuses to, sort of, do what the Beyonder wants. And plots instead to steal the power of the Beyonder for himself. And that's where you get the all-white.
Yeah, God Doom.
Hold on.
Yo, man, to be honest with y'all, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. And when I was coming up and I was a kid, there was like these thick-ass books, and it was called The Gamer's Handbook of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Certain phases. Like say like A to D was like anyway, they went through every character in there at the time. This was like in the 90s. But Beyonder was one of those people when you looked at his stats, because every character they went over like their strength, stamina, speed, they gave a background history. It was some role-playing game, and I didn't even know what the role-playing game was, but I read them books. and because it was so dope. And
Yeah.
Yonder, it was like in another class. It had it like CL,
Yeah.
I guess, meaning class. It was like 5,000.
Yeah.
It's, for instance, you have somebody like Captain America. His strength was like
12.
80. His
80.
you know what I mean? His speed was like 75, and they did all the characters like that. And then when you got the people like Beyonder, like one of the more cosmic beings, he was like CL 5,000. He was like the first Goku and shit.
Yeah, they're those beings, they're the cosmic beings, they're gods in Marvel, you know, and they like all powerful beings and shit. That's the shit I love, man. That's what I feel the MCU is missing a lot of. I don't feel they've done it right. We've never gotten a Living Tribunal. We've never gotten Eternity. We've never gotten fucking really Galactus. We never, you know, none of these cosmic beings and entities, man, Yonder. Yeah, man, and you know the one above all. None of that shit has been talked about, and there's just so much more to Marvel than the Avengers, and you know the street level stuff. But
they touched upon it in the Thor.
Yeah.
Thunder. They got like
Yeah.
our first like barely kind of touched on it.
and in such a shitty movie too. And Eternals did too. Eternals, you had the Celestial with it, which was cool, but
I want to see Champion.
it's so it's so limited, man, and they could do so much with that. But yeah, so Doom, you know, he can't really convince the other villains to join him. You know, this is the thing, like doing a thing like Secret Wars. You know, I don't know why Marvel is on this thing where they have to have one villain. Like, why does it have to be one villain at a time? In the comics, they team up. There's a bunch of villains going and doing shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
They do a good job of that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Spider-Man.
Yep. And that comes full circle in Secret Wars number 4. You have when Doom takes control of the villain's faction with a reprogrammed Ultron and leads a successful assault on the heroes' fortress, and then he liberates a group of the captured villains, including Kang, and orders Ultron to disintegrate Kang, and you know, for attempting to kill him. And Ultron, you know, blasts him into oblivion, and you know, effectively departing the story for good. And
Why
that's
are
it.
they so scared to bring in Galactus?
I don't know. Maybe the CGI didn't look good. Maybe I don't. You know, who knows?
Bro, if you think about it, Reno, that's a lot of writing, right? You gotta like bring Galactus in, and this dude's like you said, the Devourer of Worlds, right? And
Yeah.
that's a lot. How you going to defeat him, and
Yeah, I mean it's a lot, but
somebody's gonna want to write about it.
now today with today's graphics and CGI and shit, maybe when they did the Cloud Galactus and the Fantastic Four bullshit, maybe they just didn't have the technology to do it right.
Well, you know, did you buy that figure yet? The Cloud Galactus figure?
I think
Yeah.
people would like
That's
the-
fucked up.
Yo, I gotta go, guys. I can't wait for Stu no more. I'm an old man. I gotta wake up at 2:00 for work. So with that,
Word.
salute to
Yo.
all of you. You guys rock. All right, God bless. Stu, happy
Yeah.
birthday, my brother. Many, many more. Wepa!
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man.
Bye, guys.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of like bad guys and their stories, why hasn't Marvel done Magneto, man? He's got like his character growth and storyline with everything. Like, yo, come on! I
Yeah.
would love to see him like trying to bring up the Brotherhood and what he's standing for. Him giving like the Al Pacino speech. Like, come on, like give me something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I think.
Marvel, bro.
Well, this is what.
They finally have everything under one banner for the most part now. Sony still has their hands in Spider-Man.
Oh, they're never
Yeah.
letting go of that.
Ever.
Never.
But you finally have like one company owning majority of the IP.
Yeah.
The X-Men, hopefully we're going to like. I know with the Marvels, like they introduced one character so far from the 20th Century Fox franchise at the end of that. I don't want to give a spoiler away on air. But
Yeah, but
there's I think a lot of it has to do with like finally have the rights to the characters.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to also not, for the lack of a better word, fuck it up.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's why I was saying I don't want them fucking with the X-Men right now. Yeah, I don't want whoever's doing that shit right now. I don't want them touching the X-Men right now. Whoever's running shit over there, I don't. It's not happening.
That'll be where he draws the line. It'll be done. They fuck up X-Men. He done.
Oh, it's over. It's over.
I agree, Lito's way. I agree so hard.
Yeah. Captain Marvel should have been the gateway.
Ex Machina.
I really love how you came in with that.
Yeah. But yeah, Magneto will be dope when they do the X-Men. He will definitely be the main big bad when they do that. Somebody's got to hang on. Let me mute people's mics. Check test 1 2. Okay, no, I got it. It's Caggiato's. But you're probably using are you using an Android? Hang on, let me unmute you. What'd you say?
I think my fan was too close to my computer.
Oh yeah, sometimes that causes that. Yeah.
Oh, the echo. Oh, okay, yeah, it's gone away. Yeah, no, so yeah, Magneto would be obviously the best to, when they do get to doing the X-Men and stuff like that.
Man, I can't wait.
I
I
can't
just
wait.
need a good villain movie.
Yeah, I agree. They really do.
The MCU
But no.
is suffering with their villains.
I said it twice earlier. What do y'all think if they did an all-female mutant movie? X-Men, just all the females. Storm Road, everybody.
I would not be surprised if Marvel if they did that. The MCU.
But how would you feel about it? Would you?
I would just be like, that's
Depends on
fucking
how it
typical.
comes out. Like it really
I wouldn't
depends.
care if it was mutants.
No, I'm gonna say I'll answer that really simply. By the current regime, it's gonna be ass, and I would not fuck with it. But if it was done right and written by people who knew how to write shit, that would be ill.
Like you had like Goblin Queen as the villain, or you did something.
Yeah.
Like an all-female movie would be great. That's cool. We don't have a problem with that. But why is it always such trash? Why are they always so whack and corny and woke and bullshit and cringy and just?
We're girls. We like to be princesses and all singing.
No.
Things like we like to curl around in dresses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they think. That's how they act. The Inner Circle would be a dope villain type crew. The Inner Circle. Wait, who's the Inner Circle? But I don't know who that is. But yeah, I think the move was definitely.
Are you talking about Captain America, the last one, the Sentinel of Liberty? Whoever said the Inner Circle.
Oh,
I don't know. That was Rush Enterprise Starks.
Isn't that's a modern captain, isn't it? The Sentinel of Liberty. That's a modern. Okay.
I don't know.
Are they?
The only Inner Circle I know in X-Men would be part of the Hellfire Club.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah,
that
I
would
think
be
that's
dope. That would be so
That's
cool.
probably what he meant. That's probably
Yeah. Sebastian Shaw in them.
I
Yeah.
want it.
Yeah, that would be super dope.
You could get Madeline Pryor in there. Goblin.
Yeah. Yep.
I
And
would
the Frost.
it'd be fun for them to do the Brood. Like I know
Oh.
they're kind of like big scary bugs, but
Yeah.
I could be interested in them doing some of that.
Yeah. I always thought the Brood was a lot like Alien though, and I thought,
a little bit.
yeah,
Not
maybe
far
they,
off.
yeah.
Not very Xenomorph.
I'm gonna keep something real with y'all. My issue with Marvel villains is that they're never mean enough. They're never sadistic enough. DC villains are.
That's the thing. Marvel takes people that can take those people out. These villains can take you out. I'm sorry, they can, but they gotta water them down. They gotta downplay them so that way, they win. Or whatever.
Yeah, most Marvel villains, including the one from the Marvels,
Or in the comics,
very
is
forgettable.
phenomenal.
Yeah. In the comics, they're super dope. But DC, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for what DC's got coming for the movies. I think it's going to be
Well,
great, but
well, if
who
you
knows?
see what they did with Wolverine, me for Wolverine, that one movie where like he's in the present day and he's old and Professor X is old and he's got that movie.
Logan, yeah,
That was a little darker than Marvel usually is.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I was like, yo, give me more.
What was it?
But that had nothing to do with Disney.
That was still 20th Century Fox.
yeah. That was before Disney bought, or Disney started making the movies with Marvel. Once I mean, I don't even know why it surprises me, because when I first heard that Disney was going to be buying Marvel and Star Wars, I was like, oh Jesus, what? No, like why would we want that? No, Disney. Why would I want Disney? No, please don't do that. I knew it was going to be bad, and
it'd be nice if the character put on a dress.
Yeah, everybody was just like, no, man, give it a chance. No, Disney, they're cool. They could do. All right, cool.
I'm not gonna take that, because with these written characters, you can take them and not have all that blood, guts, gore, and cursing, and have the most amazing story. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take
You don't need it.
Side as that being its downfall. It's just like Sada was saying, this is terrible.
No, it's
Terrible
not.
writing.
It's not that there's no blood and guts. It's that it's this woke bullshit, this woke agenda that's just way more important to them than the story. That's the only problem.
Fake
Go back to sleep.
Fake
Will
woke.
Smith don't got a cuss in his rapper in his rap.
Right.
Fuck him and
I
fuck you
do.
too.
So fuck him. Fuck you too.
Right. But yeah, Mr. Sinister, hell yeah, bro. But I
don't even want them to bring in Nathaniel S.
they've never
so dirty.
They've never made any Marvel movie or comic book movie that I feel was just as dope as the comics. So I don't expect that to happen.
They never will.
It's not going to happen. But
No,
we-
I think they were doing good for a minute as far as placing actors that
movies were good. They weren't like comics.
No, not anymore.
Closest we're ever gonna get to Across the Spider-Verse, dog. That's
The animated shit. That's why animated films are so good. But Marvel is ass at animated shit. The Spider-Verse was great. The DC
You gotta
movies.
think between the transition between a book the details that you can portray in writing, as opposed to somebody acting them out or putting them on a screen. Of course, when you're writing, you're gonna get more. So if you look at the Harry Potter books and all the details that you have there, and then you watch the movies and you're like, whoa, that didn't add up. But then
Right.
you're like, hey, that's what they had to do to appease everybody.
But
And
see,
to make it
but see,
realistic,
that's a-
it's fanatical, but you also have to set it in a live action world. You know what I'm saying? Even with Harry Potter, you have to implement those real world elements. You don't do that in books. You know what I mean? But on
Well,
screen,
but that's what I'm saying. When you're adapting a novel, yeah, you're not gonna get eighth of fucking what you get in the novel in the movie. But when you're adapting a comic book, comics aren't this thick, only words. They're this thin, and they're mostly pictures. So you can just take those words, make that the screenplay, and your storyboard's fucking done.
agreed.
What the fuck?
I think the comic is somebody writing a whole story, and then they take the story that they wrote, and then they
It's a ready-made movie. It's a ready-made movie. They really are. But the problem is, obviously, nobody wants to make the movie directly adapted, because then they can't take the credit for the great movie. And if they twist it and make it their own and change it and make it different, then and it's good, then they can say, oh, look what I created. But that's the problem.
I was so glad to see Stanley finally get his recognition as far as creating a whole goddamn universe for everybody to see and deal with.
Yeah, him and Jack Kirby.
Yeah, him and Jack Kirby. Excuse me. Yes, him and Jack Kirby. But now that Stan's gone and all this other shit, and I don't know what the fuck Kevin Feige's doing with these other phases of the Marvel universe, it's just I don't know. I think because there's so much to do with the universe that they don't know what to do.
Not even that. That man is still warm in the ground, and you're throwing his stories out. Like I said, most
Yeah.
of these people are getting introduced through these movies and through these television shows. You know what I mean? That not everybody reads. So
Shit,
it's kind
you
of
know,
like
I'm not the only one that saw it.
the
Yeah.
entire legacy that
Anything
they're.
from special on Disney Plus. They hardly did any type of real recognition, or any type of anything for his special that's supposed to honor and recap like his life and what he brought to comics. So
Oh, my God.
I guess I'm not really surprised.
You know what? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that up there and I watched, but I didn't even think about that. How like it wasn't advertised. Like I don't.
They
Yeah,
had
like,
one
really.
job. They had one job, and that was to keep that man's legacy going, and they couldn't even do that. He's not
I
even
think
cold.
they were waiting for him to go, in my opinion, so that they could do
probably.
with all what they wanted. So
Because you know, Stan was I guess he was always known in a sense to be controversial, but like a gentle giant controversial. You know what I mean? Like I don't like you guys are probably aware already. But he is said that he took Magneto and Professor X and wrote them in the personas of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. He was so like woke for his time and what he was doing, and he just wasn't with the bullshit, man. He wasn't with the stupidness.
He told you straight up.
He was.
Cracked a whip, right? He was a whip cracker.
On his characters, like they had issues. Like the X-Men were so fucking controversial. They had so many issues to deal with. You got the Avengers that are damn near perfect. You know what I mean? And like, you know, we saw they worked through problems, but the X-Men, that was on a whole other level of dealing with shit. You know?
Yeah. Well, they were dealing with oppression and all those topics.
And that's what Stan wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's, I call that, there's a difference between actually being woke, being awake, and being woke, right? This bullshit, this fake, I call it fake woke. That's not really woke. You're not really awake. You're just following a fucking trend. You're blind. You got blinders on. You're not awoke at all.
Being woke and aware, those are two different things.
Yeah, they took the word and twisted it.
Because we all know a lot of us were around when that shit really meant something. When there was, people on the corner that we're talking to with the woke vibes. You know what I mean? Maybe some brother selling incense or some shit like that. And you talking to them, and that's where the woke vibes are coming in. Now woke is so like marketed. Woke is now a mainstream product.
They're pandering. They want your money.
Right. Things start from the underground. When they build up into the common public, it gets watered down and it gets marketed. So
yeah, isn't woke supposed to be about spiritual awakeness and connecting to the earth and to finding your soul and being woke is like.
And that's and they took it and made it some political, social justice, gender bullshit.
There's a really famous quote from American philosopher Eric Hoffer, and it's every movement starts out a cause, morphs into a business, and ends up a racket.
Wow.
When money gets involved.
Who said that quote?
Eric Hoffer, Hoffer. He's an American philosopher.
I don't know what that shit meant, but that shit sure did sound good.
Well, yeah, every movement starts off with something like how I read it is every movement starts out with an idea, something that's meaningful. And then once money gets involved, once it becomes a business, then you start losing that idea and you slowly morph into just wanting to make the money instead of actually following through on that idea. And then you become a racket. Just like perfect example is our news media in the United States. The Fifth Estate used to be something that protected its citizens and wanted to inform us and wanted to actually make us woke. And now it's just a money-making entity. They're just telling us what they want us to hear. If you're liberal, you watch one type of media. If you're not liberal, you watch the other type of media. And they tell you what you want to hear. You see the advertisements they want you to see. And you're dumb and happy.
My thing is, man, if too many people start knowing a word or a phrase or a following that you're doing,
Yep.
That's when it loses all its original form.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, man. It is actually 20 minutes longer than we were supposed to rock tonight, but listen, I appreciate everybody coming. I know Stu really appreciates everybody coming out for his birthday bash and all that. Yeah, man. So thank y'all. Have a great week, and we will see y'all Saturday. Y'all already know every Monday and every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here, this is where we be. Check us out next Saturday, man, and have a good week, y'all.
Reno, thank you.
Comics on the go.
Thank you.
I want to give you a shout out for the invite. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Brother.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, man.
Thanks, Reno.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.